Over the past year, I've been able to achieve beautiful wash and go results. So today, I'm going to share my top do's and don'ts for type 4 wash and go.
Hello, lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Latoya Ebony. I do type 4 natural hair care videos. And this is part 2 of my little wash and go, little expose. And this will be the do's and don'ts of a wash and go on type 4 hair. So buckle up, grab your popcorn, get your notepad, and let's get into it. My first tip, these are in no particular order, but do use more product, but find the product that fits your budget. Listen. Okay, if you have type 4 hair and you really want your natural texture to kind of pop, whether you have coils or not, we'll get into that. You're gonna have to use a lot more product because that product is gonna really help lock everything in place. It's gonna help you not get a lot of tangles because that gel or that custard is really locking everything in place. You don't have to worry about your hair getting too tangled if you're frequent enough with those wash and goes, but we'll get into all of that, all right? Some of my favorite products to use for gel, it's gonna have to be the Eco Styler gel. I know that there's a wet line gel that everybody loves, Extreme Hold. I haven't used that one yet. This Eco Styler with olive oil has been heaven sent for me. It works very well. So this is my favorite gel. Also love the Aunt Jackie's Don't Shrink Flaxseed Gel. I like this a lot, but I'm gonna have to go with the Eco Styler. It kind of won me over with my last wash and go. And if you don't like that crunch, you can use kind of a pudding, right? So I'm all out of it now, but Hair Rules has this curly whip that was incredible. I got like the best wash and go, probably one of my favorite wash and goes from using that product, but I did use 2/3 of the jar. And that was due to his instruction. It works perfectly. But then I picked this up. This is Aunt Jackie's Curl La La Defining Curl Custard. Haven't used it yet, but this is just me looking for other alternatives, things that really fit my budget, my lifestyle. His products work great. You can only get them from his website. So you're gonna pay that retail price. But if you really have like a special occasion or something, like for me, special occasion, I'll probably go to his website and get it. But on an everyday basis, especially with the frequency of the wash and goes, I'm gonna try to find something else. My favorite leave-ins to use a wash and go, aloe vera gel. I got this one from Target. I have fallen in love with aloe vera gel in general, and this is just a convenient way for me to use it as a leave-in. I think it costs like $6. I also love Kinky Curlies. Kinky Curlies Not Today leave-in. It has a very, like, this kind of like jelly-like consistency that I really like for my hair. It acts as a really nice primer, so I really like that. And then for those of y'all who don't like doing wash and goes all the time, this is the Luster's S-Curl Curl and Wave Gel Activator. For me, this did not make a difference in the results that I got in my hair, but it did prolong that sort of moisturized, softened feeling that we love from that day 1 and 2 of a wash and go. So those are my favorite products for wash and go so far. Don't use too much shampoo and don't skip deep conditioning. Let me give you some context, okay? So I have a scalp condition, seborrheic dermatitis. The products that I use to treat my scalp are sulfate products. But even with using sulfate-free shampoos, trying to use those sort of like stripping hair products, shampoos on your hair all the time when you're doing wash and goes, your hair will be literally dried out by the end of the week. It's gonna be dry. And so love the conditioner, and not like a co-wash conditioner. Like a lot of products, they're called co-wash, and they're really just, they're more of like a shampoo. No. Or they're like a shampoo conditioner mix. No. Actual conditioner. Use conditioner on your hair as your co-wash. Co is like a short for conditioner, co-washing. So I will start with shampoo at the beginning of the week because I need it. And then throughout the week, depending on the frequency of my wash and goes, I will do a co-wash, washing with conditioner. And I make sure that every time I use shampoo in particular on my hair, I am deep conditioning. I will even deep condition on a co-wash day. I don't care. I love deep conditioner. I feel that it really helps with the softness of my hair. It helps me detangle my hair. It really helps to keep those hydration levels up. So I do not skip my deep conditioning if I know that I need it, especially on my shampoo days. Do find your hair drying style. What do I mean? Okay, I have low porosity hair. It really does take a long time to dry my hair. And so I needed some help. I personally needed some help. I got dense hair too. Pretty dense, I would say. And I was not about to walk around with drenched hair dripping all over my bathroom and my clothes. No. We can't do that, okay? So air drying was not for me. However, if you have less dense hair, if you have a different porosity of hair, if you have high porosity hair, maybe air drying is great for you. Not so much for me. I found that using a diffuser speeds up things the most, but my arm gets a little tired doing that. And so a nice happy medium for me is a sit under dryer. I got mine from Amazon. I love it. I use it. I'll link it. It's really nice, especially now that I'm thinking about trying the wash and go at night. It's a little quieter as well, and I can like watch some movies and whatnot. But the downside about sitting under dryers is that it really only gets kind of like the top half of your hair. So you may even have to go into air drying banding method. We'll talk about that a little later. You may have to do a couple of tweaks, but I learned that air drying is not for me. So you really have to take the time to find the hair drying style that works best for you, your life, and your liking. Don't wait too long in between your wash and goes or refreshing your hair. Do not wait too long. Now, what too long is to me may be different for you, but too long is like over 4 days, my hair just starts feeling really dry and thirsty, and it really needs that water, that infusion of water, especially if I'm doing a technique in which I'm only using maybe 1 or 2 products. My hair does not do good after day 4, you guys. Anything over day 4, for me, it's gonna be a longer detangling session. And the reason for that is that as the days go by, even if I'm banding my hair is still shrinking, it's still drying up. And that is creating more interlocking of the strands. And then I know that I'm in for a longer detangling session than I want. So if I want to decrease that detangling time, I have to do my wash and goes more frequent.
Single strand knots are a huge concern for those who have ultra-fine strands. Stretching the hair with satin hair ties has helped tremendously for me, but I recognize that the risk is a deal breaker for some.
I know it ain't for everybody, but I would say every 3 days is really the sweet spot for me. Do understand that all wash and goes look and perform differently. You may not get the same results as someone that you're looking at online. I have 4C hair, and I have truly very tiny coils pretty much all over my head, all right? And when I use these products, depending on how much or how little, what kind of products I use, I'm gonna get a different result, right? If I'm just using a leave-in, a moisturizer, and an oil, my hair looks completely different than me using a half a tub of gel and moisturizer and leave-in. It's a completely different look. If I'm banding my hair versus not banding my hair, Literally, when I'm using a ton of products, it stretches out my coils. It gives me a more elongated look, and it literally looks like I have a different texture of hair than what I do. And by texture, I'm not even necessarily talking about curl pattern, though that can sort of be a part of it. I mean that my hair goes from being very kind of densely packed, very kind of, what is the word? Kind of this like cottony look, to having a more silky appearance and looking a lot more elongated. I recommend you guys take a look at the LOIS hair typing system. I did a whole video on that. If you want to learn a little bit more about patterns and texture of hair, because pattern and texture, they're not the same thing. That is how you can have someone with 4C hair that has the pattern, but the texture looks a little different, you guys. Check out the LOIS hair typing system. All of that is really to say is that if you do a wash and go and you know that your hair is hydrated and you've done all the steps and everything, and you're not getting a certain curl or coil pattern that you see somebody else get, that does not mean that your hair is broken. That just means that that's the result that you got. And I think you should be proud of that. Like, everybody's different. And I feel like sometimes we ruin our perception of what our hair, like how wonderful our hair is, because we're constantly like comparing to other people and other people's results, instead of really just looking at your own hair and being like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is what my hair can do. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, you guys. All right. Do increase the moisture levels of your hair. So how do you do that? Add more water, more conditioner, like really take the time to really wet your hair down on like a regular basis. I think a lot of us, sometimes we've been trained to kind of be afraid of water, especially if you've been relaxed before. Water is our friend. And water is the only thing that truly hydrates our hair, so we should love it. And the wash and go loves it, honey. It really does.
I also want to note that clarifying the hair to get rid of buildup may be helpful in increasing moisture levels.
And also, think about the pH balance of your products, right? Our scalp, our hair is naturally falling, I believe, within 4.5 to 5.5, you know, inside that pH balance level. Anything with a pH balance of like 4 and lower is going to really close the cuticle of the hair, and anything above 7 is really going to open that cuticle, even to dangerous levels. So we've got things like apple cider vinegar that's going to close the cuticle. We have baking soda that's going to open the cuticle, and depending on the porosity of your hair, you may or may not want to try some of those products, but in moderation. Also, taking the pH strip and checking your products out. Like, are they pH balanced for what you need for your hair? That could really help with your hydration levels. If you feel that your hair could use a little bit of hydration and you're not sure why you feel like your products aren't working for you, maybe take a look at that pH. Don't think you have to follow another person's wash and go timing, frequency, products. Listen, this is all about experimenting, learning what your hair likes. Do you like to wash and go every day? Is that good for you? If you live in a colder climate, maybe wash and go like every day in the wintertime is not cool. Maybe you only like doing wash and goes in the summertime. Maybe your frequency isn't every day. Maybe it's every 3 days like mine's, or once a week. Everyone is different, and it really has to do with the results that you want, and also just plain old preference. What do you like? And what fits inside your lifestyle? What products do you like? Do you like the hard hold of a gel? Do you like a softer hold of a pudding? Or maybe you're just like, I want to keep it kind of all the way natural and just do a leave-in, a moisturizer, and an oil. It's really up to you. I found that my perfect wash and go is once every 3 days, co-washing on that 3rd day, shampooing on that 1st day, shampooing every 7 days, co-washing anytime in between, using deep conditioner pretty much every time. Even if I'm doing a co-wash, using a sit under dryer works best for me, but I know that I can whip out a diffuser if I really need to really get in there and get my hair dried really fast. And banding. hands down. Applying scrunchies to the lengths of my hair to really stretch out that length, that is what works for me. That is my perfect wash and go with a gel. So if you haven't seen part 1 of this expose where I go through my anthology of wash and goes starting from a year ago from this point, and just all of the things that I sort of learned along the way and how I learned it, I really love that video. I think that you should check it out because there's even more tips there, and you'll sort of kind of get a sense of why I say the things that I'm saying in this particular video. I love y'all. I'm gonna put another playlist, my whole wash and go playlist down here if you're really into wash and goes and you really want to perfect yours. And I will see y'all in a couple days. And also,
let me give a quick shout out to the Coily crew over on Patreon. We have a ton of fun. If you want to learn how to support this channel, go to patreon.com/Latoya Ebony and become a Coily crew member. I'd love to have you.
Hit me up on Patreon. Join my Patreon group, y'all. We have a lot of great conversations and we have lives every single month, all right? So I will see you there. I'll see you in the comments. I'll see you in a couple days. Love y'all. Mwah.